Welcome to the Master Your Millions podcast, the show all about your financial potential and leaving a legacy for future generations. Here are your hosts, Jason and Scott Henderson.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back. This is the second part or part two of Diane Forster's interview, and we'll jump right into it. Okay.
Yes.
And so you have a network, and under that network, you help produce TV shows. Maybe that's on air half hour a week, for example, right?
Yeah, they're either half-hour shows or hour shows. Yeah.
And is that largely
it's unscripted.
Camera, is that largely having an interview like this?
It's similar to this, although it's a little different. So it is unscripted television. That's what we do. We do talk shows and reality shows. We do not do anything scripted. So it's real life people, and we are doing infotainment, edutainment type of content. So there's an element of entertainment in it as well. It's not all just interview style like this. There's aspects of the show that are about the host so that the host can develop the relationship with their audience. So, yes.
So I just still am struggling because you wouldn't need a camera to go film me doing my favorite hobby, or I'm just sitting talking about it and you throw up images here and there. Well, it just seems so overwhelming. Yet I'm hearing you say this is simple. Yeah, you have, I don't know how many years, 35, 40 years experience, and it's simple to you. But someone that's listening, someone that's me, is like, nah, that's too hard.
Yeah. Well, it's whatever you believe is true. Whatever you believe is true. So when I just hosted an event, I've got an event coming up in June. When I just hosted this event, I had some of my hosts on, and they came on to share their stories. What made you say yes to this opportunity, and what has happened for you over the last 3 or 4 months? And they are like glowing because, like any good seed that you plant, that seed, that acorn doesn't become the oak. It becomes the forest of oaks when it's nurtured and loved. And so what they're doing is they're doing what feeds their soul, right? And they are happy as can be. And more of the ideas are getting birthed because we're all collaborating together. That's what I'm doing. I tell everyone, this isn't a coaching program. This is career advancement, and we're all, soul sisters on this journey, and we are really here to support each other. And everybody cheers each other on, and everybody shares their ideas, and it's beautiful. Because you know why? I'll tell you exactly why, Jason. Like I said in the beginning, they all know my vision and my mission, and that has now become a part of theirs, and they're part of it too, in the uplifting and the healing of women all over the world. So that's where it stems from. So keeping that in alignment, they're having, I said, the doors that open for you will blow your mind. The things that are happening. And they're all telling me, I can't believe the things that are happening to me and for me because they stepped up to it. And I want to say, I don't know if that's true just because it's TV. I think there's a lot of it there, stepping up to shine. The heavens look down on that like with pride, like you go, in my belief in the empowerment and the help and the support of others, but being a part of the community of having others say, yeah, I believe in you. You are a star. There's no reason why you shouldn't. And that's my belief. My belief is every single person deserves to shine as brightly as they can. Every single person is a star. Nobody is higher than anybody else. We're all so uniquely different, and it's bringing out that unique ability in everything that you do. You are going to just automatically attract people to you. Yeah. So it's simple. Let's say this. It is simple. Is it always easy? No, but what is, right? But it's like learning anything. It's like learning, coding or, crypto or, business marketing or riding a bike or algebra or anything. If it's not natural to you, of course, you're going to feel that way. But the more you do something, the more comfortable you get with it. And so
I want to make sure I'm understanding you right. There's an individual that feels like they have something to give the world, whatever that is. That's their story. That's a technique that they've learned. Maybe it's a passion for a hobby, something. They feel like there's something they want to give the world. That there's these different levels. They could publish a book. They could go on and be a guest on a radio show, or maybe start a radio show. They could have a podcast like this. They could do a blog, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. The highest visibility and the highest credibility that will come to them would be having a TV show. And then everything that I mentioned can automatically be derived from that TV show. Is that the message I'm hearing you say?
that is 100%. Now, that doesn't mean that if you have a book, oh, I missed this, it's too late. Not at all. If you have a book, you definitely need a TV show, because what happens, and if you don't have anything, you're perfect. You're perfect. Start right here, start from ground zero, and we will build the whole thing out. But for those of you who have written a book, what happens when somebody writes a book is you read the book, right? The person picks up the book and something about the title, makes them go, oh, want to pick it up, right? And then they flip it over, and the back is the thing that makes them open the book, right? And then the content in the book is the thing that makes them buy the book, right? But what happens at the end of the book is they want more. They want more of you. If you don't give them the invitation for more, then they don't know what to do next. But what also happens is 95% of what we hear or read, we forget immediately after. Immediately. Think about this. How many books have you read over and over again? It's like, God, I don't even remember reading that the first time, right? So your TV show is your opportunity to take all that work you put into the book and teach it in your show. So people are always trying to come up with new content. Stop that. Stop that. I mean, the Rolling Stones have been singing the same songs for 6 decades, right? I just saw a Bon Jovi documentary, and I'm thinking, oh my God, they're singing the same song, the same song, the same, right? And it's because we love hearing it. And so that's the same thing with your work and your content. You already have the expertise in what you're doing, or it's ready to come up and out. But your TV show is a great way to showcase that. So that's that there's people really enjoy it, and people tell me over and over, and I have guests that come on my show and they say, this is the best interview I've ever had. Hands down the best interview I've ever had, because I know how to run the show in a way that keeps it exciting for them, exciting for the viewers. And then I've also infused a lot of me within the TV show. So on the rare occasion that somebody sees me or hears me and they go, oh my God, I know it. Like, I watch your show. I love your show. And they feel like they already know me. That's what happens with a TV show. Yeah.
So like, they can do it right now. They can do it right where they're at, right?
Right now.
There's never right now. They can do it right where you're at. I don't care. Like we said, Idaho, Montana, New York. You can do that. Seems like to me though, missing piece is the right kind of coach, which I'm assuming is you. However,
yeah,
do you do that for males?
I do it for men.
Because everything you sent me and everything I've read about is you're this female mindset coach, females. I can start thinking, well, okay.
I've helped plenty of men
out the door.
No, I've helped plenty of men launch their shows because I know that too. While the majority of my audience are women over 40, it's mostly women in their 40s, 50s, 60s. I call it the second chapter. They're reinventing their lives. They're transitioning. That's what our network is all about. All of our hosts speak to those women as well. And so they're experts at what they do. So that is, a women's television network. But at the same time, my principles and processes with the Star Academy and the Star Method apply to everybody. Apply to everybody. So if you're a man out there watching this, you should come to my event. I have a 3-day event. Come learn more about it and see if TV hosting is for you. Definitely. Yes. And we always have men at our events. Always. Yes.
Well, that's good. And these events happen fairly often, right?
Well, I'm doing another one in June, and I don't know if I'm doing another one this year, but we'll see. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just attempting to make this a little bit evergreen, saying, well,
Oh yeah.
and then so if
Well,
they
here's
listen
the
to this
thing.
in August, it's like, well, I missed it.
No.
However, we can put your contact information right in the show notes,
Definitely.
and they would be able to go and check and say, hey, when's the next event? It's not
Yes.
like a one-time thing. It's something you do occasionally that can help
Yeah,
them.
but I also have trainings. I do different master classes, and I do other one-day things. So yeah, we'll definitely put my contact info in. And I would say definitely get what we'll do in the show notes is my free master class, because that's always available, and that really teaches about the TV industry and all the opportunity. Yeah.
Well, tell us how they would access that. Other than the show notes, can you do it verbally?
Yes, it's tvstarhost.com/training. tvstarhost.com/training. Yes.
Excellent.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
So we've talked a lot about mindset. We haven't talked much about team. And it sounds like to me your team would come along the way. What because we're running out of time here. It's been so much fun. It's just like, wow, we've been talking that long. And it's been really good. I thank you so much, Diane. One thing that you've mentioned a couple of times is control. You're a control freak. You like people to be in control of their content, right? To own their content. When it comes to building wealth, where does control come in the play?
Oh, wow. I think you have to be in control of your wealth plan. I think that has to be something that you are committed to. I think it comes in owning the clarity about what you want and why you want it. I think the what and the why for everything are the most important things. The how comes either from the universe or from your action, but knowing the what and why first is always the most important thing, because people will just randomly, I've coached hundreds and hundreds of women who tell me, I just want to win the lottery. Okay, well, why? Well, I just it would feel so good. No. Why? What does life look like? And what it ultimately drills down to is people really are seeking, peace of mind and joy and happiness and fulfillment. All right, well, if you can't really define that, what does a day in your life look like that way, then you're, it's like just getting in the car and hitting, just go on the navigation system, or going into the restaurant and just saying, bring me food. You really have to have the clarity around it. So I think there has to be targets and goals for things, but you really need to know what it is and why you want it. And so with that, I think there is a level of control, because here's the thing. We are bombarded by 70,000 impressions every single day. All of us, media impressions, just stuff coming at us all the time. Very hard to filter that out. None of that, by the way, passes by the subconscious. It all goes in. It's just the subconscious is like the Google Drive. It's just like the hard drive. It's just collecting everything. So you have to be deliberate in filtering out things so that you can stay in control on the path of what it is you want. Leaving room for, magic and miracles and, all of that, a little bit of mystery, but you need to have a level of control in, designing your path and what it is you want. So I think yeah, I'm not saying controlling, but there has to be some level of control.
Yeah, and that might simply be have the right education or being able to know what to do. I mean, you have team members, you're not in control of them. However, like you said earlier, communicating in such a way that you have kind of control, right? That they're
Yeah.
doing what you want to have happen.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Scott,
I've definitely had to learn to just say, yep, okay, approved. Okay, approved. Where no, I think I'd want no, no. Diane, no. Let it go. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry. You were gonna
no, that's
ask.
good. I was going to ask Scott, is there anything that you wanted to ask?
Not off the top of my head. Sorry. I got one or two pretty large deals that are just trying to get close. So I appreciate your patience.
Of
That's all
course.
right. We're all about that. You got to do what we got to do. Diane, we always talk to our guests and say, what's the next mountain? You're launching a not a TV show, you're launching a TV network. At what point are you going to be able to sit back and say, you know what, I have been successful with this network? Is it the number of shows? Is it the number of listeners? Is it the number of impressions? Throw something out there, throw it out to the universal, if you will. And
Yes.
I want to personally invite you to come back and celebrate when you get to that point.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Well, the next, mountain for me is our goal is 50 hosts this year, and we're currently at 13. So when we hit that milestone, that will be a big deal. We'll be halfway to our goal of 100. So the goal is 100 in 2 years. So
And
and
when you
that
say
is
host, you're saying 100
shows.
people that have their own show, 100
100,
shows.
yeah, 100 women who have their own shows on my television network. Yeah, yeah.
And how is that going to be distributed? Is that
Well,
through Apple? Is that through
it's on
ABC
it.
or cable? I mean,
It's on a streaming platform, which we didn't even get into that. The streaming world is estimated to be a $425 billion industry by next year. It's huge and it's growing. So our home base is E360 TV. That is a streaming network. And think of it like Netflix or HBO Max or any of those apps that you download. It's on a streaming platform, but it's distributed over 80% of the globe. It's also when our shows are live, we're streaming on 18 different platforms. It's live and it's video on demand. So we have live viewership and then we have video on demand viewership. So it's constantly growing. It's a young and progressive television network. I love the people there. They have 1.2 million views a month. They are growing in a sector of the marketplace that has nothing but opportunity in it. And so it's our home base, but we're also, our goal next year, once my hosts have enough content, we'll be doing much larger distribution deals. So we'll be distributing the content onto other platforms, and that's cable networks and even regional stations, out of home, digital out of home. There's a lot of places looking for TV shows. Yeah. So
and then I heard you right. I'm getting a text from you when you have 50 TV shows.
yes, you are. Yes, you are.
Okay, you're committed. I love it. And we'll celebrate
Committed.
that and maybe even talk about some of the best ones that you feel are the miracles that happen. I mean, I'm truly helping women in that age range. They, whether they're like you were, they become an empty nester or they're getting towards the end of that nurturing, mothering stage. It's like, well, what's next?
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that really, women that really need that can, because of or as a result of what they experience from childbirth to nurturing, to going through school, all these different things, they have experienced things that can affect so many people, right?
Well,
they may have had a career too along the way, and how did those challenges and different ups and downs, there will be some pretty cool stories, I'm sure.
Yes, thank you for saying that. I 100% agree. And I shared with you at the beginning, you know, a suicide attempt led to all of this happening to me and for me. And so I'm very, very passionate about women in this second chapter, because the number one age group for depression and anxiety are women 45 to 64 years old. You would think it would be younger, and more men are successful, but more women attempt it. And the reason why is all the mindset work and I've done is so many things in life happen to all of us, but to these women. And then all of a sudden, you know, there's unprocessed trauma, so many things. They've spent so many years of their lives attending to the needs of everybody else, you know, letting herself go. Then she goes through menopause, her kids are leaving home, her parents are aging, so much, her, you know, lots of divorce, lots of things happening. And she's in desperate need of help. She's afraid to ask, doesn't know how to ask, and she needs the resources. And that's what our television network is all about, is helping her. And so she's also incredibly powerful and strong. And she's been a project manager and general manager her entire life. And she's got skills that people need to know about. And so our network is the place for women to go, the 1.3 billion women on this planet who are in this age group, for her to get the free resources for the help and support. That's why we have a very strategic plan about the kind of experts that we're bringing on our network. So while my academy is all about training anyone to launch their show, because I truly believe everyone has the right to do this, everyone is a star, everyone should shine bright, there's a certain criteria for a woman to be on our television network. And so she's got to fulfill a gap, a much needed gap there. So, and it moves me and motivates me every single day to do what I'm doing, because I knew what I knew back then, and I knew what I didn't know, but I didn't know what I didn't know. And I had no idea how much help I would have needed. And if I would have had a channel like this to go to and a resource, it would have helped me tremendously. So that's why I'm doing what I'm doing.
There's one thing that's been clear this whole episode is your passion right there that came through right there. And that's what propels you beyond other people. And, you know, for all of our listeners, that's probably the biggest thing that will help you to master your millions, whether it's accumulating, whether it's enjoying or passing on wealth. Having a passion for something and simply going after it. Doesn't matter what the next step is. It doesn't matter whether you know the next step. It's just have that passion and things will open and happen.
Yeah. Can I just say two more quick things about what you just said for anybody listening? It's great to want money. It is so great. But at what point does it, all right, how many more houses can I have? How many more cars? The greatest, most fulfilling thing in the world is doing something where you're helping other people and you're being in service. And people literally throw money at me. Like they cannot wait to give me their money because of the passion that I have. And I'm not saying that in an egotistical way. They just like, I want to help. I want to support you. They want to get on board with that. So there's your job as a human in this blip of a second that we're here, because it is a blip of a second, is to find the things that bring meaning to your life and pursue the things that bring that meaning to your life. And the rest will come. It just comes. And I did want to say this because this is ironic. I'm launching a podcast called Be a TV Star Host, about TV hosting. I'm launching a podcast about TV hosting, and it's kind of funny, but because I know there's a lot of people out there that prefer listening to podcasts. So I'm going to bring even more, as many ways as possible to bring this information to the world. So I can't thank you enough for having me on your podcast today.
Well, thank you. It's been great.
Really, really exciting. Yeah. Yeah.
Go ahead, Scott.
Cool. Well, thank you. Guys, thanks for tuning in with us. If you would like to connect with Diane, we will put all her links in the show notes down below. In addition, if you'd like to connect with Jason or I, make sure to hit us up on one of our social media platforms, email, smoke signal, whatever works. And if you like the show, please leave us a 5-star review. It really helps us out. Last, remember, mastering your millions all starts with your mind and your team. Make sure they are the best. We will catch you next time.
Thanks for listening to Master Your Millions with Jason and Scott Henderson. Check the show notes for any links or contact information about today's guest. Make sure to follow the show so you don't miss any future episodes.